Some of you that have been with me for a while might remember I did a story on a judge that pulled a gun in court on a black defendant. This is that judge. So this story is coming up again because he is a judge no more. You look at this dude don't if you saw this dude on the street, would you believe he was a judge? I sure wouldn't. They'll let any damn body sit on the bench. So let's get into this story. White judge who pointed a gun at black man in court is ousted. A judge in upstate New York was removed from the bench on Thursday, 8 years after pointing a loaded gun at a black man who appeared in his courtroom. New York's highest court announced. The announcement from the court, the New York State Court of Appeals upheld a recommendation made last year by the State Commission on Judicial Conduct. It said that the judge, Robert J. Patorti, had repeatedly bragged about an episode, and he used racial trope to describe a litigant at whom he pointed a gun, factors that contributed to the decision to remove him. Mm, mm, mm. Robert Trembectian, a commission administrator and counsel, described the 2015 episode as very singular act of misconduct. I have never had a situation other than this case where a judge, with or without justification, pointed a gun at a litigant in a courthouse. There was about 3,400 judges in the state of New York. Mr. Pertorti is the 10th to have been removed by the courts of appeals in the past decade. So they did reach out to this now former judge for a comment, and they were never able to get a response from him. He began serving as judge in Whitehall, New York, a town of about 70 miles north of Albany, near the border of Vermont, in 2014. The following year, according to the appeals court's decision, the litigant was in court over an unpaid fine. He was waiting for his case to be called by the judge, and he pointed a loaded gun at him. Mm, mm, mm. Mr. Patorti had a license to carry a firearm, according to the decision. He had a habit of keeping the gun attached to the underside of the bench while he was hearing cases. He also owns a gun and ammunition store, Big Boys Guns, in Whitehall. His shop is called Big Boys Guns. And y'all let this man sit on the bench? Oh man. Mm-mm. While Mr. Pertorti initially said he drew the gun after the litigant approached the bench too quickly. What the hell does that mean? If you called his name and he went up to the bench, he was just looking for any excuse to pull a gun on someone black. Y'all, he approached the bench too quickly. What the hell does that mean? This is stupid. Y'all let an idiot sit as a judge in this country. But then again, y'all, they've been doing this since the beginning. Remember, they let the Civil War soldiers sit as judges so that they could always harass and deny black defendants. So they don't care about some idiot like this Pratorti guy sitting up on the bench. He approached the bench too quickly. That is so dumb. That's dumb. He was just looking for any excuse, y'all. So, anyway, the Commission on Judicial Conduct recommended Mr. Pratorti be removed last year, but he appealed the recommendation, and the Court of Appeal heard his case last month. And after, I guess, after they listened to him, he was suspended with pay since last October and repeating retellings of the event to family members and colleagues. So he was boasting to everybody about how he pulled this gun on this black man. And, and I remember in my video, he over exaggerated the size of this black man. This man was just tall and thin. He made it seem like he was just this ginormous black man, and he really wasn't. So he tells, boasting about how he pulled this gun on this black litigant in his court. Now, the man was 6 feet tall and he weighed about 165 pounds. But when Pratorti told the story, he said he was a big black man who was about 6'9" and was built like a football player. You see how he over exaggerated everything? You see, I mean, he just this is what they do all the time. Always trying to over exaggerate a story and claim he was in fear for his safety. Okay, so this guy just walks up to the podium and you feared for your life over that? Then you never should have been on the bench in the first place. So the appeals board found Mr. Pratorti had exploited a classic and common racist trope that black men are inherently threatening and dangerous, and that he exhibited bias. Clearly, his content, him repeating the story over and over and over, you know, he was very boastful about what he did to this litigant in the court. So I'm glad he's no longer a judge. He's no longer on the bench. He should never, if he was voted in for this, because some judges are, I hope he does not even be eligible to run to be a judge again. This man, you just look at this man, he never should have been on the bench in the first place. Like I said, they'll let any idiot sit up on the bench just as long as they'll be against us when we walk in the courtroom. It's all good. So, wretched ass place. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.